Okay, so I cooked the octopus off, cooked for about an hour in salted and seasoned water, and I was lazy and didn't cut out the beak yet because I think it's easier to cut when it's already cooked. And I'm just gonna separate out the tentacles. I think we're gonna use half of this for ceviche and the other half for grilling. But yeah, okay. So, kind of do this. Once I start getting access to the beak, I'll start cutting that out. But sometimes you get a octopus that has been a little rough handled or been in a lot of fights, and you don't have all 8 legs. This one has 8, so I'll do 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay. Especially with the bigger ones. This one's like medium. It's not the smallest, but medium. Okay, so those are there. Now, you see there's the beak. And it technically goes through all the way in, so there's lots of good meat in here though. It's not all garbage. This is all delicious and edible. So I did clean this out earlier, but it seems like there's a lot more stuff in here. Oh no, I was like, ew, these are the spices from the from the poaching. I could see the dried thyme and some oregano in here. So yeah, those are just spices. So we can cut that up and put it in the ceviche or put it on the grill. So that'll be delicious. My dogs might end up eating some of it because they love it. Yep, so that's still part of the beak. You see this, it has a different texture. I just cut off part of that to see. So it went from the outside all the way through up. I just kind of pulled this part out of here. So from here, I don't need these scissors. I honestly can do this all with a knife, but I don't need scissors. I just chose the scissors for the tentacles because actually gets to it easier. So yeah, I'm just gonna cut some of this up into pieces. It's very tender. Like, I'm not even putting any force with my knife. So this will be delicious. These I'm gonna get rid of. That's part of the beak. But I'm gonna pop this. So good. Has just a tiny bit of chew, but like not really. Chew, like not tough chew, but just like, you know, normal resistance to your teeth. So yeah, these are delicious. And the seasoned water was really delicious. I mean, you can smell the spices, but mostly salt is important. Making sure like the flavor of the salt gets in there. So I'm probably just gonna leave them like this and put on the grill and not fall through. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. And I'll give my dogs a little treat. Okay, so I'm gonna, hey. Okay, if they're bad, then they don't get a treat. Who am I kidding? Of course they get a treat. I love them. Okay, so these are for the dogs. I might give them more later. This is what we're left with. And I'm trying to figure out how much ceviche we want. I know if we grill it, we'll eat it all. Ceviche though, you know what? I'll do half. I'll do 2 doubles, 2 double tentacles. And we'll just slice them up real quick and put them in. So, there. So for ceviche, if they're giant tentacles, you can cut the smaller, but for medium small, you could leave them as kind of, I guess what you call rings. This will fit on a chip or on your spoon pretty easily. So we're gonna cut them all like that. Put these on there. I love cooking them until the purple skin, it feels very gelatinous and loose, but it's not falling off just when you look at it. I could tear it off with my hands pretty easily, but it's not all just bleh. It's not the proper word. It's not all just bleh, yeah. Okay, and then when you get into the more narrow, you can make them a little longer. Ooh, we haven't had octopus in a while. So to be honest, I thought octopus would be cheaper here than the US, but it wasn't really. I can't remember the price off my head. I took pictures and I made note of it, but it wasn't much less than what I would pay in the US at like a cheap Asian store too. So I know buying raw octopus from, I guess, a seafood purveyor or somewhere else, probably then it would be cheaper, but I'm comparing it to when I go to Manila Market which will have a lot of frozen octopus blocks in their freezer too. So it's about the same. So I was a little disappointed. I was hoping it was cheaper, but you know what? I still have access to it. It's still delicious. So, okay. And I had a bunch of shell-on shrimp that I peeled and deveined. I haven't had any deveined shrimp in a long time. Nobody in Mexico deveins their shrimp, which honestly I'm not grossed out by. I don't mind, but it is, you know, different for me. So I'm not mad at it. I still eat it, of course. But if I'm prepping my own shrimp, I can't not devein it. It just feels wrong. So yeah, cleaned and deveined. I stored it in a bag with some plastic or some paper towels so it soaks up all the liquid. So now it's perfectly dry and ready to go. Half of it again is going to go on the grill and the other half is going to go in ceviche. For ceviche, I'm actually going to butterfly them. So they've already deveined, so they're already cut right there, but I'm going to butterfly like that. So they'll curl up a little bit, but not as much as when you cook them. But still, I like a little, you know, nice chunk to bite into. What is half? I want plenty on the grill too because I want to bring it on salads for lunch. So let's do that because it's octopus. Okay. If they're really big, I might cut them additionally. So you can cut them into quarters, butterfly, and then half. Actually, let's do that so it might be easier to eat. Some of these are medium big. I believe these were 21.25s, which some people call that large. I call that medium. Haven't seen any larger options here yet. And these are from like the seafood store, not just like a regular grocery store. And so, but I'm used to buying 16.21s or something like that. 16 and at least 16. So, but this is great for this purpose. I also wish I had a bigger freezer. I talk about it all the time, or else I'd buy more so I could thaw shrimp and cook it up in Chinese food or anything anytime. Shrimp is so easy to prep. It's so easy to thaw. I could thaw it the same day of in running water for a bit and then have a delicious dinner, but you know, we're working on it. We're gonna get a bigger fridge with a freezer eventually. So, okay, I'm gonna cover this and put this in the fridge. When we get back, we'll just add all the other fixins like some onions and tomato and cilantro, and we'll be ready.